What if that sweet little moment you look forward to every day was quietly chipping away at your health? That bite of chocolate after dinner, the truffle you save for special occasions, the dark square you eat because you've heard it's good for your heart. What if, hidden beneath the shiny wrapper and familiar logo, it carried toxic heavy metals your body can't easily get rid of? In April 2025, the US FDA confirmed what independent lab tests had been warning for years. Several of America's most popular chocolate brands contain lead and cadmium at levels that can exceed California's Proposition 65 daily safety limits. We're talking about metals that can damage your brain, weaken your bones, harm your kidneys, and stay in your system for decades. And yet, these are the same brands you've trusted for birthdays, holiday stockings, and quiet nights on the couch. But behind the scenes are lawsuits, consumer warnings, and unsettling supply chain truths that make you wonder, how long have we been trading our health for a bite of sweetness? Hershey's. Hershey's is as American as apple pie. For decades, it's been part of birthday parties, lunchbox treats, and holiday stockings. But in recent years, it's made headlines for reasons that have nothing to do with nostalgia. In independent lab tests, Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate was found to contain lead and cadmium levels above California's Proposition 65 safe limits. In a single ounce, lead reached about 0.9 micrograms and cadmium about 0.7 micrograms. Numbers that may seem small until you remember that both metals accumulate in the body over time. The potential health risks are serious. Lead can affect memory, mood, and focus, especially in children and older adults. Cadmium, on the other hand, can weaken bones and harm kidney function. For a treat people often eat daily, that's a problem. Beyond the heavy metals, Hershey's has faced criticism for cost-cutting measures, such as replacing cocoa butter with cheaper vegetable oils in some products. This changes the flavor and texture, but more importantly, it signals a willingness to prioritize margins over product purity. Then there's the ethical cloud. Hershey's has been linked to cocoa sourced from farms where child labor remains an issue. While the company has pledged improvements, progress has been slow. For consumers, the combination of health concerns, quality compromises, and ethical questions makes Hershey's a brand worth reconsidering. Lindt. Lindt is synonymous with luxury chocolate, its gold foil truffles and dark chocolate bars occupying prime shelf space. But lab tests have shown that Lindt's Excellence 70% and 85% bars contain heavy metals at levels that could exceed daily safety recommendations. The 85% bar, for example, was found to have lead at roughly 166% of California's daily limit and cadmium near its threshold. For those who choose Lindt's dark chocolate believing it's the healthier, high cocoa option, this is disappointing news. The higher the cocoa percentage, the more likely it is to contain cadmium, which comes from the soil where cocoa is grown. Lead can be introduced during post-harvest drying and handling. While Lindt has built a reputation on quality ingredients, these findings suggest that even premium brands aren't immune to contamination risks. For regular dark chocolate eaters, the cumulative impact of heavy metal exposure should not be overlooked. Lindt's ethical record is cleaner than some, but like others, it still sources much of its cocoa from regions where labor issues persist. It's a reminder that price and packaging don't always guarantee safety or integrity. Choosing Lindt occasionally is unlikely to harm you, but daily consumption could raise your exposure to unwanted toxins. Godiva. Godiva's image is pure indulgence. Silky truffles, gold boxes, and a sense of luxury. But when its signature dark chocolate 72% bar was tested, it showed lead levels at about 146% of California's safety threshold. That means eating just 1 ounce could put you over the recommended daily limit for this toxic metal. The health implications are the same. Lead can impair neurological function, while cadmium can damage bones and kidneys. While Godiva's dark chocolate tested high primarily for lead, the concern remains that repeated exposure could contribute to long-term harm. Godiva positions itself as a premium product, and many consumers assume premium means better quality control. But heavy metals originate in the raw cocoa, and without rigorous sourcing and testing, even high-end brands can fall short. Nutritionally, Godiva's chocolates tend to be high in sugar and fat, making them more of a dessert indulgence than a health food. While ethical controversies haven't hit Godiva as hard as some competitors, it operates within an industry still struggling with labor exploitation. In short, the brand's luxury status doesn't shield it from the same risks that affect more affordable options. Dove's marketing focuses on smoothness and indulgence, portraying its chocolate as a small luxury for everyday life. But Dove promises 70% cacao. Dark chocolate appeared in heavy metal testing with cadmium levels over California's safe daily limit and lead levels that were uncomfortably close. Consumers often turn to dark chocolate like Dove's for perceived health benefits, but those benefits are undermined when the product contains toxins. A daily serving could expose you to metals that accumulate in your body, potentially leading to health problems years down the line. Mars, Dove's parent company, has also been mentioned in reports about child labor in cocoa farming. While efforts to address the issue are ongoing, the connection is another reminder that big brands face complex challenges in their supply chains. For fans of Dove's silky texture, enjoying it occasionally is unlikely to cause harm. But if you're eating it daily under the belief it's a healthy chocolate, you may want to reconsider, especially if you're sensitive to heavy metals or looking to reduce your exposure. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's enjoys a loyal following, and its store-brand chocolates are popular for their price and perceived quality. But tests revealed that Trader Joe's 72% cacao dark chocolate contained lead at nearly double California's safe daily limit, while the 85% dark chocolate Lovers Bar was high in both lead and cadmium. The problem is compounded by the fact that many shoppers choose these bars for their organic label or high cocoa content, thinking they're a better choice. But organic certification doesn't protect against heavy metals in the soil. Trader Joe's has had other quality control incidents, including recalls for unrelated products, which raise questions about oversight. While these issues don't necessarily mean all products are unsafe, they suggest that even trusted brands can have lapses. If you enjoy Trader Joe's chocolate, occasional consumption is fine, but daily use of their high cocoa dark bars could raise your heavy metal intake. Considering the availability of safer alternatives, it might be worth rotating in other brands with cleaner test results. Lily's. Lily's markets itself as the chocolate for the health-conscious. Bars sweetened with stevia, no added sugar, and a label that appeals to keto dieters and anyone avoiding high glycemic treats. On the surface, it seems like the perfect guilt-free indulgence. But the lab results tell a different story. Tests showed Lily's extra dark 70% and extremely dark 85% bars with lead levels over 140% of California's daily safety limit and cadmium near or above those same thresholds. This is a harsh reminder that cutting sugar doesn't cut contaminants. Heavy metals in chocolate come from the cocoa plant itself, which absorbs cadmium from the soil during growth. Lead, meanwhile, often enters during the drying and processing stages. Whether the sweetener is sugar, stevia, or nothing at all, these metals don't magically disappear. For people choosing lilies to avoid sugar spikes or reduce carbs, these findings are especially frustrating. You might protect your blood sugar, but unknowingly increase your toxic metal intake. That's a trade-off no one signs up for. While Lily's does source its cocoa ethically and avoids questionable additives, those positives can't outweigh the potential risks if the heavy metal levels remain high. The brand still has an audience. Its lower cocoa milk chocolate options or smaller portion sizes may present less risk, but for daily dark chocolate consumption, especially at 70% and above, caution is warranted. Until Lily's can prove its products consistently test within safe limits, it's better enjoyed occasionally rather than becoming your everyday healthy dessert. Theo chocolate has built its image around being an artisanal, organic, fair trade pioneer in the US craft chocolate scene. It's the kind of brand people gravitate toward when they want quality, ethics, and flavor all in one bar. But testing has shown that even brands with the cleanest reputations aren't immune to contamination. Both Theo's 70% pure dark and 85% extra dark bars were found to have high levels of lead and cadmium. In some cases, nearly double California's Proposition 65 daily safety limits. For a company that highlights transparent sourcing and farmer relationships, this is a sobering reality check. The problem often starts at the very beginning of the supply chain. The soil where cocoa grows. Cadmium-rich soils in parts of South America can heavily impact beans, and lead can be introduced during the drying process, especially when beans are dried outdoors. Even with ethical sourcing, if these environmental factors aren't addressed, the end product can still carry harmful levels. The disappointment is magnified because Theo's audience often chooses it to avoid the pitfalls of mass-market chocolate. Many trust it implicitly, assuming organic and fair trade equates to safer. Unfortunately, that's not always true. Lower cocoa options or milk chocolates from Theo may pose less risk due to reduced cocoa content, but for high cocoa bars, moderation is key. Loyal fans may still support the brand, but until consistent improvements in testing are evident, daily consumption of their dark bars is not advisable. Green and Blacks. Green and Blacks wears its organic and eco-conscious credentials proudly, promising chocolate that's better for the planet and, by implication, better for you. Owned by Mondelez International, it sits alongside other major brands, but retains its boutique, ethical image. However, independent tests of the organic dark 70% bar revealed lead and cadmium levels well above California's daily safety guidelines, a troubling discovery for a brand so closely associated with purity. This finding highlights a crucial truth. Organic does not mean free from heavy metals. Cadmium in cocoa is a natural byproduct of the growing environment, and lead contamination can happen post-harvest. Organic certification ensures no synthetic pesticides or GMOs, but it doesn't address the mineral content of the soil or the drying process. The taste and texture of Green and Black's dark chocolate have long satisfied serious cocoa lovers, but the health implications of regular consumption are worth reconsidering. Even if you're drawn to the brand for its environmental values, it's important to weigh that against the possibility of toxic metal buildup over time. If you're committed to Green and Blacks, you might opt for products with lower cocoa content, where cadmium levels are likely to be less of a concern. Still, With safer options on the market that test cleaner, it may be wise to rotate this brand out of your daily routine until it demonstrates improved heavy metal results. Tony's Chocolate. Tony's Chocolate has a mission that resonates: 100% slave-free chocolate. The brand's bright, mismatched wrappers and chunky bars carry a story of fairness and transparency, winning over ethically minded consumers worldwide. But while Tony's leads on labor practices, its 70% dark bar was found in testing to contain lead above California's daily safety limit. It's a stark reminder that ethical sourcing and environmental contamination are two separate battles. Tony's may succeed in ensuring farmers are treated fairly, but if the beans come from regions with contaminated soil, or if processing introduces pollutants, the health risk remains. Tony's is more transparent than many of its competitors, often openly discussing supply chain challenges and industry-wide issues. This openness could position them to become a leader in sourcing cocoa from areas with lower heavy metal contamination or adopting improved post-harvest handling practices. Until then, the safest approach is moderation. For fans who love Tony's mission and chunky, flavorful bars, there's no need to abandon the brand entirely, but it shouldn't be your daily go-to if you're watching your heavy metal intake. Supporting their cause is worthwhile, but so is supporting your long-term health. Ideally, future batches will meet both goals. Ethical and contaminant-free chocolate you can feel good about eating anytime. South. If you're feeling discouraged, remember that not all chocolate is risky. Some brands tested with very low heavy metal content, including Mast Organic Dark 80%, Taza Organic 70%, and certain Ghirardelli and Valrhona varieties. Choosing these can significantly reduce your exposure. You can also rotate in milk chocolate or lower cocoa options, which tend to have less cadmium. And of course, moderation is your best defense. Enjoying a few squares a week instead of daily can dramatically cut your long-term risk. Chocolate can still be part of a balanced life, but informed choices make all the difference.